Recap in minutes. Today we will be going through a war, drama, action, and adventure movie from 2008, called Black Hunters, We Are From the Future. There will be spoilers ahead in this video, so chill out and enjoy. The movie starts in a busy city called St. Petersburg in Russia. There's a man named Borman who meets another man at a table. Borman has a medal for bravery from World War II, and he asks the other man how much money he'll give for it. The other man doesn't want to give more money, but eventually they agree on a price. Borman gets the money and gives the medal. His friends, Spurt, Cherub, and Chukka, are waiting for him in his jeep. After finishing the deal, Borman goes back to his friends and shares the money with them. These guys search for old medals from World War II and sell them to collectors for a lot of money. Borman is the leader and is clever. He knows a lot about the battles of World War II. Borman takes his friends to a spot where they want to dig, but they find another group already digging there. Borman shows their leader Ashot a sign that they were there first. Borman asks Ashot to leave, but when Ashot refuses, a fight breaks out. Cherub punches Ashot, and the others join in the fight. After a while, they all get tired and leave. Then, Borman's group starts digging the land. After some time, they decide to break for lunch. Borman sends him and Spurt to get some food from the village. While they were going to the store, Cherub finds an opportunity to cut Spurt's dreadlocks. After taking the food, they come back with Spurt's short haircut. They compliment his new look and get back to work. Later on, Spurt stumbles upon a dugout covered in dirt. He shouts to call the others and they find some skeletons, an officer's bag, a safe, a Russian pistol, and more. Borman tells them that there were 4 soldiers, a nurse, and an officer. Borman reads the letters of the officer and says they were fighting the battle in Bonhof there. Now they get back on the ground to eat. An old woman approaches them. Confusing them with Ashot's group, she offers them milk. When Borman tries to give her some money, she says it will be good to bury the soldiers properly, as her son disappeared there in the summer of 1942. She says he had a silver cigarette case. They had the case, but they mockingly agrees to find it. The old woman finds them drunk and advises them to go for a swim in the lake. Once the old woman leaves, they start drinking vodka. Suddenly, Borman discovers some IDs inside the safe and is shocked to see that they have their own identical pictures on them. They attribute it to the effects of the vodka and decide to head to the lake to cool off. They jump into the warm water, but unexpectedly, they find themselves amidst a battle. Bullets are whizzing by them in the water, and bombs are dropping around them. They emerge from the lake completely naked and flee in confusion. Their disorientation is short-lived as Soviet soldiers capture them. The seriousness of the situation dawns upon them. A corporal, their comrade, mistakes them for deserters and escorts them to the camp. Borman advises Cherub to cover up his swastika tattoo and take off his wristwatch. He follows the advice and covers the tattoo with mud. At the camp, the captain asks them who they really are, and why they were in the Germans' area. Borman reveals that they are their descendants from the future and the war is long over. The captain asks him if they won the war and Borman says yes they did. Now their documents are taken to him and the captain orders their punishment. While they are punished to be naked in the rain, Comrade Corporal Yemelyanov gives them clothes and wishes them good luck ahead. The next morning, when Cherub meets the lieutenant in the trench, it turns out that he was his neighbor from Petersburg in the past. They have lived on the same street in neighboring houses, studied at the same school and even trained by the same boxing coach. But when Cherub says he learned boxing from TV, the soldiers around don't understand what he's talking about. They simply laugh at his TV comment and leave the matter. The next moment, the group is sitting in the trench and Borman informs them that it is the same day, the 19th of August 1942, when they were attacked. He continued that they came there through the lake, so the only way out of there is through the lake. If they could not make it back during the day, they will be shot. So they will move in the dark. Meanwhile, a beautiful nurse, Sergeant Major Nina, comes and asks them if they are shell-shocked. But their conversation is cut short by the German air raid and they are forced to take cover. Amidst the chaos, bombs are everywhere, enemies' planes are flying and soldiers are dying. The soldiers fight bravely, kill the German infantry, destroy their tanks, and blow up their vehicles, but the Borman's group members find some corners of the trench and hide during the attack. Meanwhile, Nina bravely tends to the wounded. Borman sees her and crawls toward her to help her. While pulling the soldier back, he confesses his love to the nurse, but she pushes him away saying that it's not the time to hit on a girl. While in the trench, Chukka is terrified and hesitant to touch the dead body of the soldier. Somehow he hands the round of ammunition to the gunner and they won the battle. Borman kisses the girl in celebration, but she slaps him. After the battle, he comes to her in the medical unit with flowers, and meets Chukka, who also brought flowers for the nurse. Borman sends him away. Bormann expresses his feelings to her and tells her that they will surely win this war. He reveals his secret of being from the future, and she doesn't believe him but listens to his stories with interest. Meanwhile, the rest of the group members bury the mass graves. At night, the soldiers gather to hear a song from Nina. Spurt takes to the stage with his guitar and performs a raucous rock and roll. Everyone applauds their performance. Meanwhile, Bormann sees his beloved Nina being led away by a lieutenant. He follows her to her medical unit and praises her that he is amazed by her and her voice. While he was busy flirting with the nurse, his friends wait for him in the trench to cross the lake. He comes back and they make for the lake to go back to their own time. But their efforts are in vain and they find themselves again back in 1942. As they swim to bank, the corporal awaits them and asks why they are so attracted to this lake. They make up an excuse saying that they swim in the cold water to harden themselves. The next day, they are ordered to peel the potatoes and suddenly the old lady who had given them milk in their time appears. They beg her to give them milk and send them back, but she doesn't understand their pleas. While standing empty, they wonder that they had ended up here because of a promise they made to find the son of that old woman. They recall the name of her son Dmitry Sokolov. They head to the bunker to ask about him, and they learn that the man they are looking for had gone missing on a mission a week ago. Meanwhile, they are summoned by an officer who informs them that the lake they'd been swimming in was on German territory and that they had unknowingly passed through a minefield. They say they didn't know about it. Seeing their luck, the officer assigns them a mission to infiltrate enemy lines and capture a German officer. Corporal Yemelyanov is appointed as their leader. The lieutenant takes their documents and put them in the same safe they found in the dugout in the future. Spurt becomes hysterical that the bodies they had found in the dugout belong to them. Bormann, checking the wristwatch, says that they only have 62 hours left to live, and starts to find the cigarette case and Sokolov. At night, they set out on their mission, crawl under the barbed wires. They successfully capture a German officer, but their cover is blown when they forget to tie and gag him. The officer starts yelling and the alarm is raised. The Germans spot them and open fire at them. They make their way dodging bullets and cross the wire. The corporal sacrifices himself to give them a chance to escape. As they flee, the corporal asks Bormann when the war will end. He tells him the date of May 9, 1945, and crawls out. The corporal smiles listening to this and hides back in the hole to shoot the Germans. He takes out several Germans before ultimately dying in battle. They run till the sun is out, but are surrounded by the Germans when they get tired. They capture them and were brought before a German colonel known to Bormann from his memoirs. Bormann recounts the colonel's life story. Having doubts, the colonel asks to leave them alone and Bormann tells him about Stalingrad, Berlin, and about Hitler's suicide. The colonel is embarrassed by Germany's defeat, even by the French. After drinking vodka and receiving a pack of sausages from the colonel, Bormann is also sent to a barn to his comrades, where they discover another prisoner, Sokolov, who possesses the cigarette case they needed. Spurt, seeing Cherub, starts arguing with Sokolov, saying after 60 years, Hitler's fans will walk around in Moscow. This infuriates the soldier and he knocks him to the floor, after which he begins to choke him. After breaking the fight, they start discussing the escape plan. Sokolov reveals he had dug a tunnel but can't flee due to his broken legs. He asks them to deliver his cigarette case to his mother, to which they agreed. As they left the barn, Spurt struggles to stop coughing but could not. His noise alerts a guard, but Sokolov begins singing to buy them time to escape. The soldier shot Sokolov while they return to the camp. Bormann says they will keep their capture a secret to avoid unnecessary questions. The officer calls them into his bunker and asks how they are back after stirring up the Germans, and empty-handed. He also scolds them for losing their comrade corporal. After dismissing them, Bormann meets Nina, and after making sure that he's okay, she kisses him and takes him to the hayloft. Chukka follows them and climbs a tree, and when he sees them making love, he becomes angry and falls from the tree. He attacked Bormann. Nina runs away and the special officer becomes a witness to the fight, which leads to their confinement in the basement. Nina demands their release, but her boldness and tough demeanor stun the officer. He talks to the lieutenant and decides to let them go, but the lieutenant asks to leave Bormann in custody and only release Chukka. The next day, they argue over what they should do to take them back to the future. Cherub insists on staying with his comrades and going into battle, but Spurt wants to abandon them. When the battle starts and the Russians start blowing up the Germans' camps, they align in the trenches to give way to the tanks. After that, they run toward the German positions to knock them out of their homeland. The Germans kill many of their soldiers, but they keep resisting. Meanwhile, a projectile explodes near Bormann that injured his leg, and tries to stop the bleeding. Nina also joins the battle while saving the wounded. The major devises a plan to take out a machine gun in the pillbox. Cherub tells his major that there is a valley from where they can go to bomb the foxhole. He tells him that that is the way they took on the mission to kidnap the German officer. He gives him grenades and orders to blow up the pillbox, but Cherub refuses, calling it suicide. Chukka crawls into their hideout and Major convinces them that, without taking out the pillbox, the offensive will fail and they will die before the air support. Meanwhile, Nina runs to Bormann, tends to his wounds, and runs off to aid the other wounded soldiers. She leaves him saying that she will return soon. Now Bormann sees how she is dragging a wounded officer into that dugout, and tries to shout to her but she doesn't hear him. 4 other soldiers run up to drag the officer and they go inside. Bormann watches in horror as she enters the bunker with looks at his watch. The bunker explodes and he cries really hard. After a while, Bormann finds his friends crawling to blow the foxhole. He joins them to blow it up. They eventually get succeeded to blow up the machine gunners. And during the assault, Chukka gets a bullet, and his friends take him and run to the lake. After diving, they emerge in the 21st century unharmed. Their things are still lying on the side and it feels like they were only gone for a few seconds. The movie ends when Cherub scrapes the swastika tattoo from his shoulder with a sharp stone, while Bormann silently looks at a photo of Nina. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe recap in minutes for more videos like this, and help the channel grow.